Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Alumni, students, faculty, staff, friends, and all of the special guests. Welcome to the 2023 Alumni Award Ceremony. My name is Nadia Islam, class of 2012, and I'm proud to serve as the president of the Alumni Association Board. This has been a great start to what's going to surely be a memorable weekend. Today, we learned from amazing panels of alumni leaders in the fields of healthcare administration, entrepreneurship, and the humanities. We reconnected with our beautiful campus during our alumni campus tour, rediscovering favorite spots and exploring what's new. Many of you just came from the Fiesta with the Faculty event, where I'm hoping you were able to reconnect with some of your favorite professors, and I'm sure a crowd of our alumni are cheering on our Trinity soccer teams at McGinley Soccer Field as we speak. And I hope we all go over there to join them afterwards. Before we begin the recognition of our awardees, I want to thank the Trinity University Alumni Association Board for their tireless work in selecting our wonderful award recipients. We are a 36-member Alumni Association Board, and it consists of a diverse group of alumni from a variety of decades, professions, interests, geographical locations, and perspectives. A committee of the board serves to help encourage nominations and then recommends the slate of awardees for the selection to alumni relations and to the university. Selection committee and board members, you know who you are. Thank you sincerely for your service. It's now my pleasure to introduce our 20th president, Dr. Vanessa Beasley. President Beasley has guided and overseen a transformative year for Trinity as we continue to see a steady rise in stature, selectivity, and diversity. This transformation is made possible when you have a leader who sets a vision and does the hard work to tell the Trinity story. During her first year in office, 14 months, as she'll specify, she has visited alumni in 8 cities, and she has plans to visit more this year. She's also enjoyed meeting our faculty and students. In August, she and her husband Trey hosted all of our new students as a welcome party at the President's Residence in Oakmont. Hopefully a new Trinity tradition, and one we hope future students will look back on when they return to Oakmont as alumni for the annual block party. So now please join me in welcoming President Vanessa Beasley.
Thank you, Nadia, for that lovely introduction, and thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to see so many great faces, old and new friends to me, so thank you for being here. I also really want to thank Nadia for her dedicated service as president of the Alumni Association Board. As you know, many of the great things that happen at this university are volunteer-driven, and the Alumni Association Board is one of those. It is truly a very exciting time to be a part of Trinity University, and this weekend especially. I hope you've had the chance to walk around campus and see all of the wonderful new additions and renovations and how we truly are working every day to make sure our beautiful and historic Skyline campus stays up to date with innovative, student-centered spaces, experiences, and opportunities. Now, we all know all of the wonderful things it takes to make Trinity so wonderful, and that's significant resources, new facilities, and a highly engaged faculty, talented staff, and a dedicated alumni community. Together, we will continue to move this institution forward. As I hope you've noticed, we are continuing to elevate our profile on the national level. And I'm here to tell you we are doubling down on what it means to provide a 21st century liberal arts education at the core of everything we do. My feeling, I hope you agree, the ability to learn how to think is more important now than ever. One reason I love saying that out loud in this room is because the award winners tonight are terrific examples of exactly what it means to build a life in that fashion. They show us what's possible with a Trinity education. And I'm frankly personally honored to be in their presence, to get to know them earlier today, and to be here tonight to celebrate their accomplishments and their continued contributions. I want to thank all of them for representing and supporting our university so well. I'd also like to take another moment to recognize a few of the dedicated people who have joined us here tonight. Nadia already thanked the Alumni Board, but I'd like to ask now for all members of the Alumni Association Board to stand so that we can recognize you. Your efforts in support of our students, our great university, and our entire community are what make these awards possible. And I want to thank you for especially those of you who helped select the award winners tonight for your commitment to celebrate your peers and their achievements. And I wonder if we have any past award winners in the room this evening. Your legacy is what makes this celebration all the more important. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And now, please join me in welcoming back to the stage Nadia Islam, who will be serving as our Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Dr. Beasley. As we continue with the evening, I ask you to forgive me any of my mistakes and to also remind you that I went to the same school as some of these people. All of these people, in fact. So tonight, we will honor 7 alumni in 5 different categories: the Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year, the Tower Awards, Outstanding Young Alumni, Spirit of Trinity, and Distinguished Alumni. Our first award of the evening is the Fraternity and Sorority Alumni Advisor of the Year Award, which recognizes outstanding alumni service in an advisory capacity to a Trinity fraternity or sorority. This year's recipient, Amy McGee, has served Sigma Theta Tau for over 20 years, before Trinity even created this official position for Alumni Advisor. She organizes annual events for the Houston Sigma alumni and has traveled to San Antonio several times when the sorority has needed her. She's also the administrator of the sorority's alumni Facebook page. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Amy recognized the need for additional support for students, so she brought in even more Sigma advisors from different decades and areas of expertise to help her sorority. She graduated from Trinity in 1992 with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication with a concentration in Public Relations. She fondly remembers producing news and TV packages for Tiger TV, DJing for KRTU, and writing a column for the Trinitonian. She's now a successful realtor in the greater Houston area, and her commitment to her clients' interests and round-the-clock work ethic leads to her consistent 5-star reviews. She's a dedicated not only to her sorority, but also to her alma mater, serving 2 terms in the Alumni Association Board. I had the honor of serving with her, and remaining active in the Houston Regional Club, and also generously giving back as a Trinity True Donor. Please join me in celebrating these contributions from our Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year, Amy McGee.
They made me go first. No matter how long I've been away, visiting Trinity's campus always feels like coming home. If Trinity is my home, though, the women of Sigma Theta Tau are my heart. Mentoring Sigmas over the last 20 to potentially 30 years has been one of the great honors and privileges of my life. There are not adequate words to express how proud I am of both the young women on campus and some of my astonishingly accomplished sisters in my alumni body. It would take hours to fully brag on every woman I have come to know and love in this sorority, but since they'll yank me off this stage after about 3 minutes, I'll brag on just a few. Among recent student leadership are Whitney Ball, who in 2015 led the charge as a barely 20-something-year-old student to host hundreds of people at Sigma's 60th anniversary party, an event of which any professional event planner would have been proud. Or Kelly Stewart, who in 2020 led a politically diverse club as its first Black president in the time of a divided nation experiencing major protests and political upheaval. Or Anna Grundig, who in 2021 single-handedly called every single member of the active club in the evening hours of December 19th to let them know that a Sigma sister had died tragically. As a side note, we greatly appreciated the ability to communicate privately within Sigma students just before a statement was released to the general Trinity community. Those moments have shown just how important it is for the current students to have the support of both the administration and the active alumni leadership. Among accomplished and otherwise extraordinarily cool Sigma alumni are Laura Smeaton, a biostatistician at Harvard University who conducts research on HIV and, as she likes to say it, dabbles in malaria. Allison Stock, a double PhD toxicologist and epidemiologist who together with her husband serve on the crew of Tux Float in New Orleans Mardi Gras Parade. And with me today, Karen Carson, who is not only a successful attorney, but who has also launched a second passion and career as a stand-up comic. I continue to know these and other Sigma alums extremely well because a group of we admittedly middle-aged Sigmas who call ourselves Sigma Rao travel to a different city together each year. Earlier this month, we gathered in Chicago to enjoy camaraderie, art museums, not-so-quiet mornings over coffee, and late nights putting together our traditional jigsaw puzzle. In recent years, we have been to Charleston, Las Vegas, Boston, and Tucson, among others. This group of more than a dozen women also attended my wedding to the love of my life, Anwar Alvi, earlier this year. In short, I want to thank the Trinity community for this recognition, but to humbly offer that the love and devotion I have given to Sigmas pales in comparison to the love and devotion that Sigmas continue to offer me. This means a lot to Sigmas, it means a lot to the Greek community, and it means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Huge congratulations again to Amy. All right. The Tower Award recognizes select alumni who set a standard of excellence through outstanding professional achievements or community service. Our first Tower Award recipient, Dr. Ellen Riojas Clark, has made significant contributions to our greater San Antonio community. She is a professor emerita at the University of Texas at San Antonio, where she taught bicultural and bilingual studies until 2012. Over her 35-year tenure at UTSA, she guided young leaders as a faculty advisor for many student organizations while examining ethnic and cultural identity and cultural studies topics in her research. UTSA has honored Ellen for her work with an endowed chair position in her name, the only endowed chair named for an academic Latina scholar in the entire United States. Ellen has received 3 National Endowment for the Humanities grants and was the cultural director for Maya and Miguel, a PBS children's series. She is the executive producer of the Latino Artist Speaks, Exploring Who I Am series. She also has several publications, which include textbooks, cultural studies books, children's books, teaching guides, and over 200 journal publications. And be sure to keep an eye out for her forthcoming book published in April by the Trinity University Press titled Pan Dulce, a celebration of Mexican sweet and savory breads, pastries, and more. Ellen graduated from Trinity in 1974 and received her master's degree from UTSA and her PhD from the University of Texas at Austin. She currently serves on the Trinity University Alumni Association board with me, supporting student involvement and attending creative arts events. Please now join me in congratulating Dr. Ellen Riojas Clark.
I thank you. Gracias, gracias for this recognition of my life's work. Trinity University created the academic and cultural pathways for what I am and what I do. Trinity University helped forge my cultural and ethnic identity, as strange as that might seem. But I received excellent grounding in pedagogy and in the literary and visual arts studies here at Trinity. Trinity University provided the pathway for my becoming a professor in bicultural bilingual studies at UTSA and the continued pathways in my research and writing to now. My involvement, believe it or not, in the Chicano arts and consequently in the CONSAFO art group started here, as did my work in the literary arts. So after teaching for over, I think it's 40 years at UTSA in bicultural bilingual studies, I am now in the cultural culinary arts. I am nationally recognized as a mera mera tamalera for the making of tamales, documented this fall through on Netflix. So I'm so excited to Trinity University and thankful for propelling me into my life work and love. Mil gracias and thank you.
Congratulations, Ellen. Our next Tower Award recipient has made tremendous strides in the field of collegiate athletics. A member of Trinity's class of 2001, Portia Lowe Hoyk was active in Delta Sigma Theta sorority, the Black Student Union, Multicultural Network, and played on the women's basketball team, where she formed some of her favorite Trinity memories, including flying across the country for conference games, sneaking into teammates' dorm rooms for various pranks, and then also being thrown into the Miller Fountain for her birthday, although that was against her will. After graduating from Trinity, Portia earned her Master's of Business Administration from North Park University in Chicago and went on to work in athletics at Vassar College, Lake Forest College, Rhodes College, and Allegheny College, where she spearheaded the addition of 2 new varsity sports and provided leadership for an extensive addition and renovation to the athletic facilities. Since 2019, Portia has served as the Executive Director of the Centennial Conference, the second full-time Executive Director in the 26-year history of the Athletic Conference. As a result of her leadership in this role, the Centennial Conference received the NCAA LGBTQ Conference of the Year Award. Portia is one of 18 female conference commissioners in the NCAA D3 athletics and the first African-American woman to become a commissioner at the D3 level. And not only all of that, I just found out today that she's an exceptionally color-coordinated, exceptionally well-dressed human being. Please join me in recognizing Portia Lowe Hoyk.
It's really strange being on this end of things because usually I'm the MC of an event. So thank you to everyone for this amazing opportunity, to be honored in this way. It feels really awkward for me to be talking and talking to student athletes and talking to you all, but I am very much appreciative of the nomination committee and everyone behind the scenes that was a part of giving me this opportunity. I was a reluctant tiger. I tell everyone who would listen that I think my parents decided Trinity was the right place for me. They visited, they had an amazing experience. I never had the opportunity to visit. I think I got a general questionnaire from athletics and I filled it out and I applied. It was one of very few PWIs and Texas institutions that I applied to. But once I received the financial aid package, it was very clear that I needed to be at Trinity and that was the place for me. My experience at Trinity was by no means perfect, but it taught me a lot about what I value and what I need to be successful in life. I remember being unhappy with basketball at a certain point, and my parents constantly telling me, look, you're either gonna make a move or you're gonna keep it, you're gonna stick to it. And at that time, I decided to step away, even though that was my identity, that's all that I had known for so many years of my life. I became a leader of Black Student Union, because it was the first time in my life that I'd been to a place where the lack of diversity really bothered me. And I felt like I needed to be amongst people who looked like me and came from an environment similar to where I came from. So being a part of Black Student Union was an amazing group. It was a lot of fun. We connected with a lot of Black students in the community in San Antonio, which was amazing for my experience, and I think it really got me through my 4 years. I remember my sophomore or junior year writing a letter to the Trinitonian. One of my friends was an editor, and I talked about the lack of diversity at Trinity and how I challenged them to really stop paying diversity lip service. It's time that we make moves and diversify this amazing institution. And at that time, being a 20-something-year-old with grand thoughts, I thought I was really saying something profound, but little did I know that that would be the foundation for so much of my work moving forward. I continue to challenge places that I've worked with. As was mentioned, I've been the first Black woman as an athletic director. I was the first as a Division III conference commissioner. And it's time that I stop being the first. And I take great pride in being the first and opening the doors to others. But I think in the year 2023, I hope that we can stop counting the first and counting the many and breaking that glass ceiling. So fast forward 20-something years later, and in addition to these years being marked with a few milestones, my Trinity experience really taught me what I value and aligned myself accordingly. I'm fortunate to be a place where not only do we value diversity, equity, inclusion, we fight for gender equity, we fight for LGBTQ issues, and it very much is aligned with my values as a person. So I'm proud to be in a leadership role and be able to impart a lot of positive change in that capacity. Being a leader can be a very lonely endeavor, but I've got the best support system from my two boys who challenge me when I don't think I can be challenged anymore for my position in college athletics. They always find a way. My husband, who's been my ride or die for 15 years now, he's made a lot of moves, he's made a lot of sacrifices. As someone who works in athletics, I'm so appreciative of him. My family, my sister and my mom came from Georgia. I'm pretty sure my dad is looking down on me. He's cracking a lot of jokes right now because that's the kind of guy he was. My extended family, one of my best friends in Vaughn, who came from Dallas, my hometown, so they drove down to be here today too. So again, I want to thank Trinity. It wasn't always perfect, but I think it's what I needed at that time in my life. I take the good and the bad as something that has shaped me into the person that I am today. But I'm so proud to be someone who's able to be a positive change agent in college athletics. And Lord knows with everything going on at Division I level, we need it. Division III is absolutely the best place. We have some of the best student athletes. I'm so glad to see some of them here today. Stick with it. It's not always easy, guys, but stick with it. It's worth it. But thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to Trinity, again, for making me who I am and for this amazing opportunity and amazing award. So.
Congratulations, Portia. And now our final Tower Award recipient, Dr. Jamie Thompson, has maintained a commitment to improving her alma mater by enhancing the student journey and overall Trinity experience through opportunities such as the Student Alumni Mentoring and Strengths Education. Jamie graduated from Trinity in 2005 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and holds a Master's in Higher Education Administration from the University of Kansas and her Doctorate of Education in Organizational Change and Leadership from the University of Southern California, where she researched students' sense of belonging during the COVID-19 pandemic. Jamie began her professional career at Trinity in 2009 and is now the Interim Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, designing and implementing campus-wide student success initiatives that advance institutional retention and graduation goals. Jamie's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion can be seen throughout her career, and specifically via a committee leadership role that resulted in a diversity and inclusion staffing structure to hire the university's first director of diversity and inclusion. Colleagues across campus trust Jamie as a responsible and creative collaborator, a trait she developed as a captain of Trinity Women's Golf Team and the president of the Gamma Chi Delta sorority. She currently serves as the co-advisor of the Omicron Delta Kappa Leadership Society, and little fun fact, she has never been dunked in the Miller Fountain. There's tonight and tomorrow. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Jamie Thompson.
Thank you, Nadia. I really appreciate your kind words and for the nomination. And as others have shared, I too am extremely grateful for this award. Well, I also find myself in a bit of a unique situation right now. And by unique, I don't mean bad. I mean unique as in, wow, what an interesting intersection of experiences kind of situation. Let me explain. First, many of you here today are my colleagues, who are also great friends and mentors and confidants. So that's really fun and special for me. Second, I'm not only a Trinity alumna, but I'm also a Trinity employee. Did you know there are 111 of us on campus? As I stand here tonight, I feel like I represent so many Trinity alumni who are employees doing incredible work. As one of my former colleagues used to share, we are mission-centered, student-centered, not self-centered. And finally, there's a part of me that feels like this is just another day on the job. Not the award piece. I don't get awards every day. But I do have a certain level of comfort and familiarity on this stage because I frequently present to audiences of prospective students and families in this very same spot. Coincidentally, what I share with prospective students and families is also what I feel compelled to share with you tonight. And that is something that you already know. Trinity is a very special place. I feel privileged to get to work alongside my mentors and friends, the same people who supported and challenged me as a student. And in some instances, my former faculty members are now my colleagues and friends. We stand side by side, engaged in collaborative work as we pursue student success strategies that impact retention, graduation, and positively shape students' experiences. Trinity is where I love to learn organizational development, learn to love, and what ultimately inspired me to pursue a doctorate in organizational change and leadership. And Trinity is a special place for me because it's also where I met my best of friends, and Simon, the most phenomenal partner I could imagine. My two daughters have more or less grown up on campus, attending the Children's Center across from North Residence Hall when they were little, and now attending programs and performances in Laurie Auditorium, even when they don't want to. To put a fine point on it, my contributions to the field of student affairs broadly, and Trinity University specifically, are reflections of the incredible family, friends, colleagues, mentors, and even students who have supported me along the way. So with gratitude to the many, many members of my village, thank you.
Congratulations, Jamie, and congratulations to the village that she spoke of, all of the ride or die spouses, parents, kids, siblings, friends. Here's to you all as well. The Outstanding Young Alumni Award honors Trinity Young Alumni who have distinguished themselves early on in their professions or in service to the community, setting a standard worthy of recognition by the Alumni Association and the university. Dr. Jaskirat Singh Batra graduated from Trinity in 2012 with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and received his Master of Science in Electrical Engineering and PhD in Material Science and Engineering from Texas A&M University. He has been a co-author in 14 research publications, and he currently works as a postdoc researcher at Houston Methodist Research Institute, where he is developing important biomedical devices. You'll learn a little bit more about that and much more in this special video.
Trinity, I would say, is this small community of people who care for each other, who are there for each other.
We are consistently reminded of the talent of our alumni and the ways that Trinity has been a part of their story.
As a board, we also recognize that we have a lot of really young alumni who might not have reached their full potential in their spheres yet. However, they have still achieved a whole lot.
Born in India, the son of two professors, Dr. Jaskirat Batra knew from his first year at Trinity that engineering research would be both his path and his passion, even earning the distinction of publishing and presenting alongside Dr. Peter Kelly Zion.
I was very grateful to learn that Trinity selected me for Outstanding Young Alumni Award, especially because this gave me a moment to remember all those amazing memories that I made at Trinity.
And Jaskirat he was an ideal student. First of all, when I picture him in my mind, I can see his smile. He just always had a joyful attitude towards learning.
It's not something that you see very much in the world at large. It's very unique for undergraduates to make significant contributions to research. But Jaskirat did.
Dr. Batra earned a PhD at Texas A&M and structured his research around developing technologies that impact patient health and safety.
So this is one of our face mask sensors that we designed.
Such as a biosensor to detect viruses in the air.
So here we have our wearable sensors.
And a device bipolar patients taking medication can place on their skin to determine if lithium readings in their sweat are safe. Trinity's liberal arts curriculum has proven invaluable.
I think it has allowed me to think about things like religion, politics, philosophy, and how, even though the work that we do as an engineer might be technical solutions, how do those impact the real world people and the problems that we are trying to solve?
I mean, it's all his accomplishments, but I do have a sense of pride that, he came from my lab and is achieving all these great things.
The most well-rounded person I know in higher education, period.
The same zest and energy that Dr. Batra brought to leading student organizations at Trinity, he channeled at Texas A&M as a mentor in a graduate student orientation program.
And the first day that I interviewed him when he applied to be a counselor, I definitely knew there was something different about him, and we actually created a director position for him to bring him up because he got it. He understood the importance of culture when you're in a place.
The one thing that he is dedicated to is finding the truth.
Dr. Batra discovered both joy and purpose in teaching at A&M, in meeting students where they are, and discovering that virtual reality can effectively convey sometimes arcane engineering concepts.
That curiosity that drives him, I think, is so interesting, and that's the fundamental mark, I think, of a good scientist, engineer, human being, actually.
I'm very, very proud to congratulate you on this Young Alumni Award.
Jaskirat. This is Dr. Kelly Zayan from back in the lab at Trinity. Congratulations on earning the Outstanding Young Alumni Award.
Please welcome Dr. Jaskirat Batra to the stage.
Go Gigam and go Tigers. First of all, thank you to Trinity University and the Alumni Association for recognizing me for this award. This is a very special award coming from the institution where actually I developed my fundamental research skills that are still used to this day. I've had a chance to talk to engineering science faculty who I actually worked with, and I told them that it made me stand out, that I could actually hold a pipette and knew how to use it as a graduate student, because many of the graduate students coming in right now, sometimes we have to actually teach them. So even though it sounds like a small thing, on top of that, I also learned my critical thinking skills, how to analyze the data, how to actually present some of the data, and then how to connect that to other disciplines and the problems that we solve in the society. I've had the good fortune of being part of many conferences in the last few years, and the constant theme that I saw there was trying to lay the vision for the engineer of 2050 when we try and educate the new engineers. What do we want to see in them? And the constant theme that came up was that we want them to be more empathetic, and we want them to actually be able to solve complex problems. We want them to solve social problems and not just the technical problems. And when I asked them how do they intend to do that, there were proposals on, well, how about we teach them some of the liberal arts and other disciplines? I was like, I think I know a place that has been doing that for decades, right? So that made me very proud to be the institution, to be part of the institution that has actually been doing that for decades, and that put me a step ahead of many others. And many institutions are just catching up. And it's been wonderful to see all that recognition to Trinity University over the last year, as Dr. Beasley has been part of that journey in highlighting many of those achievements. Beyond Trinity journey and many faculty that made it possible, it's special that many of them are here today. I can't name everyone because I know that it takes a village to raise a scholar. I come of scholarly family, so I know it takes a whole community, and Trinity has been that community for me. But I do want to acknowledge Dr. Kelly Zayan, Dr. Leifer, who are here this evening, and Dr. Collins, who was here earlier. That was a nice surprise, but he left early. And any other faculty who are here, who have contributed and been part of my journey. I appreciate that. And then special thanks to really special folks who have been with me all the way through. And one of them is my sister, who flew here all the way from Indiana. She was here for my Trinity graduation. She was there for my doctoral graduation at A&M, and she's now here for my award ceremony. So she's always right there next to me. And also thanks to my parents, both of who are Dr. Batras, that are watching this on the live stream right now. I'm so glad that they were part of my Trinity journey with my graduation, with my Texas A&M graduation, and then watching my doctoral defense on Zoom, and now watching this on live stream with a 13-hour time difference in India. So I appreciate that. And again, once again, thank you so much for allowing me to share my Trinity pride with you and allowing me to contribute to the world through Trinity education.
Congratulations, Jaskirat. All right, I would now like to invite our Vice President of Alumni Relations and 1989 Trinity graduate and an absolute gem of a human being, Mike Bacon, to the stage to present the final 2 awards of the evening.
This is one of my favorite parts of Alumni Weekend, honestly. I'm so proud of the incredible alumni we have celebrated already, as well as the 2 awardees still to come. Their commitment to the highest levels of academic and professional excellence and their dedication to service in their communities demonstrate how Trinity prepares its graduates to pursue lives of meaning and purpose. And I'm really proud to call them both friends. The Spirit of Trinity Award recognizes excellence in service to the community or the university over an extended period of time and is given to a loyal alum who embodies what it means to be a Trinitonian. This is one of the Alumni Association's highest honors to bestow on a member of our alumni network. Rick Hill, our 2023 Spirit of Trinity recipient, graduated in 1991, majoring in English and history, writing for the sports section of the Trinitonian, playing on the basketball team, and making memories with his Omega Phi fraternity brothers. Rick is now the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Valero Alamo Bowl. I can tell you that Rick has done incredible work reaching back to students and bringing them into internships. It's just one of the special things that Rick does is he makes sure our students have a place to succeed. He also paid it forward by recently creating a scholarship in honor of his father, who was a role model and a mentor for him. Rick's proudest achievement, though, is seeing his students succeed. Since 2020, Rick has been an adjunct professor of sports marketing at Trinity, giving his students the knowledge, skills, and connections they needed to jumpstart successful careers. Let's now watch this video to learn more about how Rick supports Trinity and our students.
As I look out over our alumni and their accomplishments, all I can think is we make the possible actual.
When you think Trinity and Spirit of Trinity, it's hard to think of a more fitting person for this award than Rick Hill.
It's one of his best qualities, I think. He's just so passionate about giving back to Trinity, and yet it doesn't take work for him.
Dedicated and compassionate, Rick Hill has invested in the people and programs that drive the university's successes. As a student, alumnus, guest lecturer, professor, and donor, a resume built over 4 decades that speaks to the essence of the Spirit of Trinity Award.
It is an individual who loves this university with their heart and soul and does so much, stays connected with us, continues to engage with students.
To me, that winning this award is another platform where I can talk about the Trinity experience. I've been able to see everything it's done for me, my friends, and just the up and coming students and going through, and it's just a special place.
Mr. Hill majored in English and history, graduated in 1991, and made lifelong friends playing baseball. He was most valuable athlete his senior year. Someone even captured his walk-off grand slam against Millsaps on a camcorder.
I can't believe that I get to represent so many talented, incredible human beings that are changing so many things around the world.
And here they come onto the turf inside the Alamo Dome.
For the past 25 years, Mr. Hill has served as Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Valero Alamo Bowl, a holiday jewel in San Antonio that funds scholarships for students throughout the region, including at Trinity.
He was so earnest in wanting to have citywide impact for kids and to think about really effective ways to develop and distribute these scholarships. And so I really appreciated working with him on thinking through all the possibilities for the city.
He has been incredibly helpful in my life.
Ask anyone, and the core of who Mr. Hill is as a person is embracing his role willingly and selflessly as a mentor to Trinity students.
I have seen Rick give his vehicle to interns who've had car trouble. I've seen him open his wallet and give credit cards to students who had no money.
To know how far he's gone in his career, how much he's accomplished, and yet he still takes time to care so deeply about other people. It shows everything you need to know about him.
The ultimate compliment was a former student basically said, you almost got like a Coach Pop coaching tree of former Trinity students across the country, and that is really cool and very proud.
Hill had a prominent hand in designing the sport management program and is now a professor in the spring. Along with his father, the two are funding a scholarship for a Trinity student to venture overseas at no cost as part of the Sport in England program, learning at historic sites such as Wimbledon with their classmates, a $6,000 value.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like, I cannot believe the generosity and the spirit of someone that's going to say, you are going to have an unbelievably remarkable experience.
I want to say how grateful I am for your essence, your character of genuineness and kindness, and just everything that you're doing and everything that you've devoted yourself to over the past years.
Rick, you are the spirit of Trinity University. Congratulations on winning this award.
Rick, congrats on receiving the Spirit of Trinity Award.
A steady drizzle greeted the Trinity baseball team as we pulled into the Comfort Inn parking lot in Longview, Texas after a 6-hour drive on Friday, February 5th, 1988. Knowing our season opener might get canceled, morale was low as we crammed 4 players into each room and tried to get some sleep. At 6 a.m., I saw a sliver of sunlight come into the room. I jumped out of bed, threw open the blinds, and said, "Guys, we're playing ball today." Senior Jim Wheat yelled back, "Shut up and shut the blinds." The weather that Saturday for our first game was perfect. Jim threw a 2-hitter, I had a couple RBIs, and we won our season opener. After the game, a couple kids asked me for my autograph, and I thought, can it get any better than this? No, we lost the next 9 games. We finished the season 5-26, the worst season in Trinity baseball history. Luckily, I had a lot of dedicated teammates, including some that are here today, that shared my enthusiasm and determination. And we went back out there, had a rough sophomore year, but Trinity increased its support of athletics, and our first year in a new conference, we won. It was a great accomplishment, and I really appreciate that. Was such a memorable time for me. On the academic side, I had a kind of a bumpy start as well. I started out in communications, jumped over to education, jumped back to English and history, but I had some professors like Dr. Revert that gave me amazing personal attention and allowed me to get my double major and graduate in 4 years, much to the happiness of my parents. After graduation, my job offers were Luby's cafeteria manager and air traffic controller. I love free food and travel, but I tried to go a different path. I tried to build a career in sports. Like a lot of students from my era, graduation kind of felt like the end of a transaction, though. Trinity had given us a super special experience, but they were on to the next crop of students, and we were off to get our postgraduate degrees or go to Dallas or Houston for jobs and kind of on our own. Luckily today, Trinity gives that same personal attention for preparing for life after graduation. That makes me very proud. There was, and Career Services does a fantastic job of saying you have to complement your rigorous class schedule with experiences. That is going to help you get ahead. That experience was at my Trinity job, at my Alumni job, where there was a 15-year period. I think we had 2 students that were helping. Now we have 10 students the last couple of years, and I think they really get experience that allowed them to skip steps in my career, even though I kind of think cleaning restrooms in minor league baseball was pretty character building. But I'm happy to see them jump ahead. Cal Hunter in one of the pictures is a great example. He sat with me after my class and said, "Hey, I'm on the tennis team, I got a double major, but I really want to start doing videography in sports." Coach Urban and I loved his passion. We got him working for the football team, got him working for the Blair Alamo Bowl. Now 5 months after graduation, Cal's working for the NFL, and Sunday you can see him shooting video on the sideline for the Bengals 49ers game. So I think that speaks to how now Trinity is doing such a special thing. Let me close with a confession. When I was notified about this award, you didn't see me talk about it there, my first reaction was guilt. I've got a lot of selfish reasons to be involved, and I have some unfair advantages. I've lived less than 2 miles from campus for 35 years. I have a very interesting job that's a lot more rewarding when I have Trinity talent helping me out. As an adjunct professor, my time with my students makes me a better parent and boss. Audrey Hill, you're not the only college student that doesn't return my emails. I learned that. My other family members here today include my wife, Mindy, whose job at Trinity makes our dinner table a master class about relationship building, as I learn about all the great things happening with alumni relations and development. My parents flying in today, that shows to me how deeply they care about education and family, and that's what inspired our support of the scholarship. Coincidentally, this weekend falls on their 55th anniversary. And number 12 for Mindy and I, so a double. I do have a lot of unique advantages, but I want to challenge everyone to get more involved, to do more. Make a gift that's meaningful to you. Find a student that you can mentor in your city. Figure out ways. I've made so many great relationships by just commenting to someone wearing some Trinity merchandise. I think we can all do small interactions that are going to lead to big results. And I really do believe we have an amazing dynamic leader in President Beasley, and Trinity is going to enter. When we look back, this will be the golden age of Trinity, and I think that the benefits to everyone who's an alum and our entire community, it's going to be tremendous. So let's jump out of bed, let's throw open those blinds, and tell everybody that Trinity is ready to play ball on a national stage.
Rick Hill for president. Actually, the party's at Rick's house later on tonight. All right, our final award this evening, the Distinguished Alumni Award, dates back to 1961 and is the highest honor presented by the Alumni Association to the most dedicated and talented of our alumni. A member of the Trinity class of 1993, Her Excellency, Dame Froila Salam, is an anthropologist and community leader who has served as the Governor General of Belize since May of 2021. She is the first Indigenous person to hold a position in this Commonwealth country. Dame Froila is a leading advocate for Belizean women's rights, the environment, and Indigenous justice. Dame Froila has exemplified Trinity's core values of learning, service to others, and honoring the dignity and worth of every person throughout her career. How has she done this, you ask? Well, let's watch this video to find out more.
Her Excellency Froila Salam is an extraordinary person, an extraordinary Belizean, a Belizean that's in many instances way ahead of our times.
And so I think most Belizeans love her, admire her, and more importantly, have a tremendous respect for her.
Her Excellency, Dame Froila Salam, has used an anthropology degree from Trinity to serve and improve her home country of Belize for now 3 decades, with credentials that clearly merit the Distinguished Alumni Award.
It was shock. But after the shock wore off, then it was like, wow. And so to come back to Trinity 30 years later and to say, we recognize you, all I can say is thank you. And I'm humbled and I'm honored at the same time.
What our award winner this year shows us is the power of a liberal arts education. and the way that it can be put to use in the world to improve people's lives.
Born in Toledo, San Antonio in southern Belize, and raised in the Mopan Maya tribal tradition, Her Excellency has become the first indigenous woman to serve as Governor General. King Charles III's direct representative in Belize, a former British colony and now independent country.
And she continues to champion the rights of indigenous people, not only that, but women on a whole, like taking up leadership positions and so on. So, yeah, so I'm very proud of my sister, extremely.
What she has done really is to unite the country, to unite us as Belizeans. You know that Belize is a country of so many ethnic groups. And what her appointment has done is to bring us all together.
I feel so lucky because we get to hear about those things here at Trinity and hear their stories and their success, and honestly, we celebrate those successes with them because we're really proud of the things our alumni do.
Her Excellency lives and works in a government complex in Belmopan, the capital in central Belize. On the journey there, she was a prolific author, preserving and teaching both Mopan Maya language and history, and not relying exclusively on a British colonial narrative.
I didn't want my children or any young Belizean to live in a country where they could not openly express themselves. And so how do you develop pride in yourself? You develop that by knowing who you are and how you came to be.
We were both aware of how uninformed our country is of their history. Histories before this had been written by the colonizers.
A voracious reader, Her Excellency credits her work-study job in the Trinity Library for teaching her how to be a professional, and the Trinity experience as a whole, with mentoring from Professors John Donahue and Richard Reed for equipping her with the tools to execute on the global stage.
What is the point of a liberal arts education? It's not just to have the skills as in being a doctor or a teacher, but really to look at the world and analyze all these structures that you're faced with.
Dame Froylan, let me thank you for your time at Trinity and congratulate you on winning the Distinguished Alumni Award for 2023. It's much deserved, and we're all proud of seeing what you're doing.
I am so proud of you for receiving the Distinguished Alumni Award from Trinity University. Congratulations, you make me proud and you make all Belizeans proud.
Joseph. Whew. I had an interesting afternoon, and I don't think it really dawned on me the significance of this award that's been given to me tonight. And I think it was when I went to the anthropology department earlier, and I was seeing people from my past, some of my professors, and actually speaking to the students of the anthropology department and others who had visited us. And that's when it struck me that this is a pretty privileged and unique position to be in. See, I'm getting emotional. I was okay. But what was inspiring, I think my takeaway from the session earlier was that we come to an academic institution and we don't really know what we're going to do with this education that we're getting. And I assured the students that I too was like them. And When I left in 1993, I really didn't know what work I was going to do, what my future was going to be like. And I assured them that no matter where they start from, they will find their way. It might take a couple of years. In my case, it took 10 years. And in some cases, perhaps longer. But the point is that who you are as a person will always shine clearly and will always guide you through all the challenges that you will find in life. I've been told 3 minutes, so that was not part of my 3 minutes. I am truly humbled to be receiving this award today. And like previous recipients, when they too were informed, I was surprised. For I really don't think I have done much yet for this award. That I am in fact just getting started. There is no doubt that there was a lot of luck involved in getting to where I am today. Luck to have parents who are proud of our native culture and history. Luck in being the first Maya Research Program intern. Luck to getting a partial scholarship from Trinity University. Luck to living with families here in San Antonio who I still have a relationship with even to this day. It is not an accident either, but rather a reflection of a young and forward-looking Belize, my country, when it came time for them to select a governor general. And they did so with distinction. What was not luck is the university's commitment to a liberal arts education and a recognition that education is the first step to becoming a humanist. To help shape a better world, one community at a time. So although I have not solved any global problems, I would like to think that my education from Trinity University has allowed me the opportunity to a different way of thinking and to supporting a human rights-based democracy for our young country. Thank you, Trinity, for your board leadership, both past and present. Thank you for acting on your values. In my case, it has allowed a young Maya woman from a very small village, also called San Antonio, to get a world-class education and to allow me to make a difference, no matter how small, in my neck of the woods. I know that your support for others like me does make a difference. One life at a time, both within and outside of the United States. Your vision has clearly demonstrated that we are all interconnected globally and that there is no border to education. Therefore, after following in the footsteps of world-class awardees who have said the same things I wanted to say, but I was limited to 3 minutes. So thank you for saying it. We are here because of the love of our families. My husband, my 2 children are here with me. Colleagues, my adopted family, my real family. Thank you, thank you. I wish you all the best. God bless. And I will speak in my language. Botiktesh to like takina da hi. Ichiluka ba santovitz etela santo hobo. Botiktesh to lakala. What I said there was, thank you all in the name of the sacred hills and valleys. Thank you, and may the energy be with you. Botik.
Thank you, Dame Froila. Froila told me that the hat she's wearing is called a fascinator, and I was indeed fascinated by it. We are so inspired by the accomplishments and contributions of our award recipients that we've celebrated tonight, but we know there are many other talented alumni in our community who have not yet been recognized. Please be sure to nominate your fellow alumni or yourself for these awards. You can actually use the QR codes we provided to submit your nominations for 2024. Now, will you please join me in a final round of applause for all of this year's award recipients? Awardees, I'd like to ask you to please head directly back up to the stage for some formal award photographs upon the conclusion of this ceremony. I look forward to seeing all of you at the festivities we have planned for you tomorrow, God willing, and it doesn't rain. It's all going to happen. It just may not happen in the place we originally thought it might. But we've got a Trinity tailgate before a football game tomorrow against Millsaps and our always popular block party on Oakmont. Thank you all for being here, and have a great night.
Move this out of the way.